Just 46 days from the election, and with the clock ticking, lawmakers are making a push to get your vote. KXAN is keeping a close eye on the U.S. Senate race.
Two polls out this week indicate very different outcomes for Republican Ted Cruz and Democrat Beto O'Rourke. KXAN's John Dabkovich got an in-depth look today at the race with Texas Tribune's Alana Rocha.
Okay, so the polls. We had two polls come out this week in the Cruz-O'Rourke race with two very different results, and a lot of people are talking about that.
Well, and they were different within themselves from the rest of the polls we've seen until this point that were often polling registered voters. And at least in Texas, there's a huge disparity between those of us who are registered to vote and those of us who actually turn out. And so in that way, they were more telling. But the sample size and the way they did these polls were differently. So you had one come out on Tuesday that had Cruz up by 9. That one was done through phone interviews, so people answering their landlines. Then you go to Wednesday's poll, has O'Rourke up for the first time ever by 2 points, still within the margin of error. That one was an online survey, a larger sample size, more representative of Republicans, Democrats, Independents. And so you can look at that one a little more, and maybe the congressman is feeling pretty good about himself going in 7 weeks out here.
And you think that might be a more accurate indicator, that poll, because of the wider sample?
Well, it does speak to the type of voter answering the phone, right? Yeah. How many of us still have landlines? Young people, not a lot. But are savvy online? Yes. So you have to look at that. Also, the second poll that had O'Rourke up asked the voters to gauge how likely they were to turn out. And from 0 to 10 scale, 10 being very likely, an official with Ipsos who conducted the poll said Democrats were definitely more motivated to turn out. Enthusiastic.
So while this race is going on, though, Ted Cruz's compatriots in the Senate have an issue going on. There's the Supreme Court nomination, Brett Kavanaugh. There's been a lot of talk about this, but we haven't heard much from him on this issue. Why is that?
Well, he's doing a delicate dance right now. There's a lot of talk about how white suburban women are going to be a key voting bloc in a lot of races across the country. So he has to walk a fine line, right? He doesn't want to not support Kavanaugh enough and alienate his base, but he doesn't want to, support him too much and maybe, somehow discredit the woman's allegations and alienate that key voting bloc.
So he's just staying quiet then on the issue at this point?
Yeah, just kind of watching. But he won't be quiet for long, of course, because we have tomorrow night's debate.
Yeah, I wanted to bring that up, too, because we've seen Ted Cruz debate before in presidential elections. He's pretty good. He's actually says he's pretty proud of his debating skills.
Right.
We have not seen Beto O'Rourke really debate that much. What should we expect to see when those two get on stage?
Well, in the past week, I've gotten sit-downs with both of them for a piece we're working on for next week, and O'Rourke holds his own on the issue. So I think he'll do fine as far as going up against Cruz. I think what voters are going to see is, these two men on the stage side by side, and they'll be able to really measure them against each other. It's a benefit for O'Rourke, too, because he can introduce himself to people who haven't heard of him.
So you guys have Texas Tribune. What's new? What are we expecting coming up here in the next few weeks for you guys?
Well, in the next week, we have our big annual festival that has a new component this year on Saturday, a week from this Saturday, the 29th. We're having open Congress, shutting down Congress from 8th to 11th Streets, 3 tents, lots of programming, completely free, no RSVP needed, and hoping that people come out to engage with the people in power.
All right, Alana Rocha, thank you very much.
Thank you.